All right, we finally got ourselves a snowstorm. Check it out. Starting to come down pretty good. It's pretty windy at the moment, but my site here is got some pretty good wind protection, so I should be set. We're gonna head out and see if we can't get some shots in the snow, because I want to get some pictures or some video of like the snow being blown across the top of the ice layer, which I think is pretty cool looking. So let's go check it out. Alright, so one of the things we need to do is we need to clean out the stovepipe here, because over the course of a week it'll just get a buildup of just ash and different stuff on the inside of the stovepipe. And so the easiest way that I do that is I just take the stovepipe off right here. There's a little section that I can take off this main portion right here, and then I just bang out the interior with my machete, and I'll have a bucket at the end of it that captures all of the stuff that's inside there, because eventually what it'll do is it'll just get to the point where the airflow will be really poor going up and down throughout the stovepipe, or going up throughout the stovepipe. You don't want it coming down, obviously, but the air will be really restricted going up, and then that will impede your fire from getting to its maximum potential, and then you won't get the heat that you need. Alright, so I left some coals in here, and the reason I did that was that these will fire back up again and make it real easy for me to start up a flame. And so if there's coals in there that are decent size and they don't look like they've already burned out, then there's no reason to throw them out, because that's still fuel that you can use. So what I do is I just try to get all the real fine ash out of the bottom of the stove, and then I'm able to get the big coals there and just keep them and use them to start the flame again. All right, now the stovepipe, it comes off in two sections. So let me go ahead and grab my gloves here and I'll show you. It comes off at the base, obviously, right there. And then you've also got in this section right here, which is what I want to go ahead and remove. Let's kind of wiggle it back and forth, and you'll be good. And what I want to do, yeah, that's pretty dirty. What I want to do is show you the interior of the damper here. So what this does, this regulates airflow for the stove itself, and it's not too dirty yet, but it's starting to get that way up towards the top here on this side. I don't know if you can really see that around there. There's lots of gunk. There it is. Lots of gunk on the interior, so we're gonna get this all cleaned out. The stovepipe's the same way. Alright, so I got the stove disconnected, or the stovepipe disconnected from the stove, and I want to show you the interior here to show you how nasty this gets. It gets all gummed up, and there's tons of ash that gets stuck to the stovepipe. So what that'll do is that insulates the stovepipe, and heat doesn't come out of it like it normally would. And then eventually this will get to the point where it's clogged up and the airflow will become restricted, and then you'll start getting backdraft coming out of the front of the stove here, like right here. It'll start shooting out flames. I've had that happen to me a couple times when I've just not been diligent about cleaning this. So about once a week I'll just come in here and I'll use my machete and just knock all this stuff out. And I just put it in that little metal bucket that I have. Sorry about that. Put the stovepipe, the end of it, in the metal bucket that I have, and then all the black stuff just goes down in there, all the soot and everything, and the ashes goes right into that metal bucket, and it's easy to clean up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting on a few things to charge to continue setting up the vestibule. So I figured I'd go ahead and knock out the rest of this stovepipe. So let's go ahead and knock it out. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and clean out these two pieces of the stovepipe. What we've got here first is this is the damper, and this is what controls the airflow, and also this is the piece that fits into the top of the stovepipe, or I'm sorry, the stove box. And then this is the stovepipe itself. It's pretty heavy right now with all the extra ash and stuff that's inside of there. So we're gonna go ahead and get these cleaned out. And the way that I do it, I use 2 different tools for cleaning these. Just when it comes to, well, there's actually 3 tools. There's a bucket, and then I use one of like a little garden spade, and then I use a machete for the actual stovepipe itself, since it's much bigger. What I'll do is I'll just come in here and I'll just start to clean out the debris on the sides just by running up and down with this little spade thing, and I'll show you just how much of a difference we're looking at here. So you got the top part there, which is clean, and then you got the other side, which is dirty. So you can kind of see the difference there. So anyway, we're going to continue cleaning this out. And it's really convenient having this little bucket, because then you catch all of this debris, because it's real lightweight and airy, and it'll just go everywhere. So if you were to try to do this inside of a room and not have a place for us to come down into and catch it, it'd just go everywhere, and you don't want that. All right, now you can see it's nice and clear the whole way through. All right, just to give you an idea what came out of just the damper itself, all that stuff was inside of it. So that clogs up your stovepipe and your stove, and it reduces the efficiency of the heat that you have coming out. That's why it's important to keep the stove clean. So that's what you want for everything, and I'm going to do the same on the stovepipe here now. I wonder how much we get out of the stovepipe here. I bet it's a lot. sun is about ready to go down, so I want to get this cleaned out and then get the stove started so we can get some heat going in here because it's going to get cold. Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're having a good start to the week. It's nice out here. It's a pretty chill day today. Yesterday it was real windy and there was a little bit of snow that came in, but today it's been pretty mellow. So I just got back from taking Sierra on a walk, and I wanted to answer a few questions. It seemed like the last video that I put up, a lot of people were questioning why I went into town to get firewood. And it's because this area of Colorado that I'm currently winter camping it's a no-cut area. So you can't cut any firewood, and if you do, it's a big time fine. And so, like, if you look around on the ground, it's already been picked pretty dry. I mean, there's not anything, not a lot of dead wood on the ground. You know, and also, like, the wood that you would find out there on the ground is not suitable for your stove. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's pretty what's called punky, which means rotten, and that doesn't last hardly at all in your stove. It doesn't burn long. I mean, it'll burn, but just not, it'll burn for like 30 minutes, that's about it. And so if you're trying to get sleep, like, that's not ideal wood to have in your stove. And so in this area, what I've elected to do is to just go ahead and go into town. There's a wood broker that's not too far from here, and go into town, and they've got all different sorts of wood, which is great. So I did do one winter where I was camping in an area close to here, to where they had permits to where you could process your own firewood as long as you had a permit, and it was $10. It was $5 a cord or $10 a cord. Can't remember what it was. But it was real cheap. You just get the permits of the Forest Service. And that was awesome, except that was really tiring. I mean, I'd chainsaw it, and then I'd come back to camp, and you know, I'd always try to find the dead standing trees, because those would be the best seasoned. And by seasoned, what I mean is that the trees have been dead long enough to where the sap is no longer in them, so you can burn them. And that's another thing too, is that for those that are not aware, you cannot cut down a live tree and burn it. It won't burn because too much water and sap and nutrients in it. And so, but one year I did do it to where I chopped my own firewood, and I was dead tired by the end of winter. I couldn't even move my arms. I mean, it was crazy. So I did, the majority of it was actually chopping. I wanted to do it by axe, and then about halfway through the winter, I changed over to chainsaw because it was just too tiring. So, but the people that I get this wood from, they're super nice. I've known them for years, and it's a nice older couple that just bust their butt when it comes to wood, and they've got real nice hardwoods which last a lot longer in my stove. And so that's why I go into town to get that. And I'm going to go into town again and grab some more wood. Probably not as much as I did last time, because I'm going to head out to go do that hut trip here. I'm going to head out on Thursday and go visit some friends over in Montrose and do that a backcountry hut trip that we have to snowshoe into. But I still want some wood between now and then. It got pretty cold last night, and I chewed through a lot more wood than I thought. So I'm going to have to get some more. But anyway, that's an explanation as to why I get wood from in town. It's kind of a rambling explanation too. But we're going to go ahead and get our day started here. It's real nice. Like I said, like, just no wind today at all, which is great, because yesterday it was pretty loud around here. I was like, oh man, am I gonna have a repeat of where I was camping at before? But luckily that's not the case.